kind of zoom in, be in the background. But on a short notice, I thought they did a decent job of what they had available to. I concur with Jeremy on that one, Roland. I think the virtual draft, given the circumstances, it went as well as it could. One thing that I really liked about the virtual draft is the Roger Goodell, just the intimate session of Roger Goodell being in his home and, all the prospects being in their home and getting to see a glimpse in their home and their parents. I think the more intimate feeling of the virtual draft kind of hit home for me. And I would definitely like to see that being implemented moving forward and, drafts moving in the future, especially if it's not in the city as like Nashville or Vegas or even in New York. I can definitely see the NFL going to more of a virtual style type draft type setup moving forward.
I tell you, Robert, I totally agree with you. I was beyond excited to actually sit in my home and watch the draft unfold the way it did. You used that word intimate, and I think that's what brought people in. Now, granted, we were in a very unique time, COVID-19, restrictions, definitely social distancing, all of those factors playing in. But I think what it allowed us as fans, for us four, specifically as professionals, it allowed that intimate moment between the person that's being drafted, their family members, maybe their girlfriend or spouse. It allowed that moment to take place. We all saw it, and we all saw the reactions of some of the owners and general managers. Now, when I say owners, I'm not talking about, Jerry Jones, chilling on his multi-million-dollar yacht that everybody would have loved to have been on, which was, fabulous yacht, by the way. But that intimate moment of even watching some of the coaches be in their homes with their own families while making the pick. I tell you what, I'm with you, Robert. I think they should go to virtual drafts. Let's cut down on some of the nonsense and let's make this a very intimate moment, a deciding moment for the player, for their family members, something that they all will remember. So we'll drop that off right there. We'll go ahead and take another break, and we will be back with the extra point. Welcome back to the Extra Point in association with R2 Sports Management. I'm joined with my colleagues, Justice, Robert, and Jeremy, and we are getting ready to jump into what we believe are going to be the breakout players in the NCAA and the NFL. So let's take it right there. Robert, who do you have breaking out this year?
Breaking out this year, Roland, I'm going to go down to Gainesville, to the University of Florida, and I'm going to go with quarterback Cal Trask. Last year, Cal threw for almost 3,000 yards with 25 touchdowns and 7 interceptions, and he didn't play the full season. He came in when Felipe Franks got injured. And I was talking to Bill Gonzalez, the receivers coach for the University of Florida, down at the East-West Shrine game. And we were just about the dynamic of the receiver room. But one thing that Billy harped on was that the fact that Cal got the ball out quick on all the timing routes and gave those guys the ability to make plays in space. So Cal is definitely going to be my breakout player this year. I'm not going to go on a limb and say he's going to have a Joe Burrow season, but I think he's going to do way better than go over 3,000 yards. And maybe those numbers is going to go up to maybe 30, 35 touchdowns for the full season. And then for the NFL, I'm going to stay on the quarterback position. My breakout player this year is going to be Kyler Murray. With the addition of DeAndre Hopkins coming in, I think his stats is only going to increase and his play is only going to increase with the familiarity of the offense. Last season, he threw for almost 4,000 yards, 20 touchdowns. I can see those numbers going up, and I can see him being a MVP candidate in this 2020 season. So those two are my breakout players for this year for college and NFL, Roland.
Hey, I hear you there. I definitely got some questions and some concerns about your NFL pick, but I think you make a valid point. But I don't know about Kyler. What I would like to see out of him is a little bit more football IQ on that field. I know he's a rookie coming, still growing, but, I would like to see a little bit more out of him. But, ladies and gentlemen, you heard it here on the extra point. Robert going with Kyler Murray. We'll see. We'll see. I don't think we're going to see that, ladies and gentlemen. Moving on to Justice. Justice, what do you got?
Yeah, my breakout guy in the 2019 season has got to be Kyler Hill, the running back out of Mississippi State. I mean, if you want to see what this kid can do, turn on the Southern Miss tape from 2019. This kid was all over the field. He was breaking tackles. They couldn't contain him at all. Just take a look at this kid's thighs. I mean, they're massive. He's got great contact balance. He bounces off tackles like they're nothing. He can make you miss in space. I think a lot of people sleep on him because he's not that home run, game-breaking speed type of back. And I just think if this kid gets drafted, a running back gets hurt in training camp or something, this kid can break out just a lot like Kareem Hunt did with the Chiefs. If someone gets hurt, I think if he gets an opportunity, he can be a big playmaker for a team. And as far as the NFL, I get to Harold Landry, the linebacker out of Tennessee. Going back to his Boston College days, I love this kid. This kid can bend an edge like I've rarely ever seen an edge rusher do. I mean, it's just insane. Go back and watch his Boston College tape. You'll see what I'm talking about. But I think him with a former linebacker and Mike Vrabel, I think that's a good match. I think he could be in store for a nice 12, 13, 14, maybe even 15 sack season, and maybe even a Pro Bowl. I love this kid. And I really wish him the best. I really hope I can see this kid really blossom this year in 2020.
Man, you have done your homework. Hey, that's Justin's, ladies and gentlemen. He has done his homework, and he's gone and picked individuals that you can tell are growing, but they are impact players on the field. Maybe they don't get a lot of the attention, but they are definitely impact players. Jeremy, what do you have?
Well, collegiately, I'm going to go with a guy I know very well, kind of my own backyard here, and that's going to be Michael Penix Jr. out of Indiana. I was a graduate. I was in my last year of my graduate assistantship with Indiana when they were able to get this kid after Tennessee had hired Coach Pruitt. He had let previous commits go. It kind of opened up Penix availability, and then our staff did a fantastic job recruiting him to Indiana. And as soon as he hit the practice field, there was just kind of an awe on this kid's arm strength and the type of throws he could make. And with the limited time he's had to play these last 2 years, they've been cut short due to injury, unfortunately. But the arm strength is very evident. His accuracy is very good. He ended up setting a Big Ten passing record this year for 21 straight completions against Michigan State, which ended up being a losing effort. But nonetheless, it was very impressive. He broke a 40-year-old record doing that. If he can stay healthy, the sky is the limit for him and the Hoosiers this year. From what I've heard, he's become the natural leader we all expect a quarterback to be. He's really worked hard on putting mass on his frame this year so he can stay healthy. And I've heard he's a rocked up 6'4", 225. And the sky's the limit for the Hoosiers and Michael Penix this year. As far as the NFL player I'm going to go with, it's another guy I'm sort of familiar with, and that's Deontay Johnson in Pittsburgh. He ended up having a very good rookie season despite it being very quiet. Obviously, all the headlines in Pittsburgh were, Big Ben goes down. the defenses are doing really good. But the offense did do some nice things in some spots, and Deontay Johnson was definitely a bright spot. Went for just less than 700 yards and 5 touchdowns. But this guy has everything you want in a receiver. He's got speed. He's got quickness. He gets out of his cuts very quickly. Natural hands catcher. And then coming back this year, assuming Big Ben can return to the Hall of Fame quarterback we all know him to be, I could see Deontay Johnson having a monster year. I definitely see him going over 1,000 yards, and it wouldn't surprise me at all to see double digits.
Hey, man, you make an excellent point there, Jeremy. And I tell you what, I think a lot of Pittsburgh fans out there are also waiting for Big Ben to get back on that field and continue to put those numbers up that he has over the last couple of years. So I'll go ahead and round this off. I'm going to go NFL first, and I believe that Gallup with the Dallas Cowboys will have a breakout season this year. He definitely was on the cusp of doing some great things last year, came up strong in some very tight situations. But one of the things he proved is that he can work in between spaces. And I think as long as Jerry Jones and Dak Prescott can get their damn act together, get this contract signed, and get him back out there, I think Gallup should have a phenomenal season. They're going to need him. They're going to definitely need him. In the NCAA, kind of like Jeremy, everyone, I'm going to stay in the backyard. No bias here, not just because this individual is from Colorado State. If anyone out there knows me, I'm a graduate, fellow alum of the Fighting Rams there. I love my Rams. But I tell you what, I've watched this guy over the years. Let me give you a couple of pointers on this guy. When he came in, 15 receptions, 2 touchdowns. The following season, 32 with 4 touchdowns. Last year, 77 receptions, 8 touchdowns, 1,119 yards. I'm telling you, Warren Jackson is going to be the guy to watch next season. Pay attention to the Colorado State University Rams. Warren will have a massive season, and I think it's going to be the type of season that's going to help catapult him into at least the first or second round pick in the NFL draft. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, you heard it here. No bias, but I'm going with Warren Jackson. He is going to kill it, and he is going to make major noise in the league this upcoming season. Well, I tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, we have had a phenomenal time talking about football. I am beyond excited to have been joined with my fellow colleague that through these individuals, R2 Sports Management has now reached out into New Jersey, New York, and Indiana. But listening to these individuals, I hope that you all take away the amount of work that they put into their craft, the knowledge that they bring to the table. These are sound professionals, and they are going to share that expertise week in and week out with you, the fans out there. And all you collegiate athletes who are also listening in, you will have an opportunity to call into the Extra Point and tell your story your way, maybe even hype yourself up before the season starts. Well, thank you for joining us in this inaugural episode of The Extra Point. I am R2, Roland Rainey, CEO of R2 Sports Management. Once again, joined by Robert, Justice, and Jeremy. And we look forward to hearing from you next week here on The Extra Point.